Namaste. Today, let me speak something about how to begin your spiritual journey. Sounds simple, seems easy, but let me tell you, it's very difficult. Highly complex because most of us are not aware of what the spirit or spiritual is all about. We confuse that with the mental. Mental means effort. Any effort applied through a motivational desire to do something, to experience, is mental. The spirit is just a flow of energy. It's a flow of energy. It's the aware, conscious energy which makes your mind aware and conscious. For that you don't require any effort. You don't require any inner engineering. Yes, for your physical health, you know how to be fit, how to exhibit your personality, to show off as to what a good looker you are, and you take all care of it. To be mental, you apply many efforts provided by psychiatrists, psychologists, spiritual artists, motivational speakers and whatnot. How to focus your mind, center your mind, concentrate, contemplate, introspect. Various techniques are given where you have to apply effort to discipline your mental mind as far as the health of the mind is concerned. But what about spiritual health? A flow of energy, a flow of spiritual conscious energy, which does not require any effort to make your mind aware and conscious, so that you're not functioning totally or 100% subconsciously in an unconscious manner. Because most of the time, over 98%, your mind is working through memory and intellect subconsciously without requiring your conscious mind, without requiring your spirit. So, what do? How does one inculcate and improvise on spiritual health? First, the spirit, as I have already told you earlier, is aware, conscious energy. Awareness is the highest attribute of energy, which in the subject of spiritualism, today we are referring to as spirit. Okay. It does not require any inner engineering. It does not require any effort, methods, techniques, practices whatsoever. All that is required, please remember, is only and only awakening. That spirit is settled here inside the superconscious section of your mind. Settled, which we refer to as the soul. Now that soul and the spirit are sleeping inside. The mind controls the body and the soul checks and guides the mind. But if the soul is sleeping, even if it is residing inside, you have all the potentiality, but you are ignorant about it. You do not know what it is to awaken the spirit. Meditation is not going to awaken the spirit. Meditation will relax your body, bring down your blood pressure, soothe your mind, and you will feel better mentally and physically, but not spiritually. You see, mind is lost in the past, stuck in the future, multitasking, not knowing anything consciously. It's doing all subconsciously. Various things at the various time leading to chaos, leading to a total mess. So that's what we see today. And a little bit of joy that we get, which we call as happiness, a state of the mind. And we are told that we should seek happiness. Now, not realizing behind every happiness there's a shadow of sadness. It's a vicious cycle of happiness and sadness. It's just a state of the mind. It's not the state of the spirit. The state of the spirit is how to balance the body, mind and the spirit in such a manner that you are at peace, stable, consistently, relaxed, not getting affected by the world around. Not by thinking very much, but in silence, watching, listening. So, let us come down to the spiritual health. The spiritual health, the soul, which is supposed to be containing the spirit, is referred also to as the witnessing consciousness, the higher self. The higher self. And what happens? Whenever we ask this question about how to become spiritual, the answer comes. Look inwards. Look inwards. How do you look inwards? Or even if you look inwards, what do you look inwards? What is it that you have to look inwards? What is it? Looking inward means nothing to do mentally. Looking inward means to become thoughtless and just watch and witness. That is why the soul is also referred, which I stopped earlier, is that it is called the witnessing consciousness. Pure consciousness, when the mind is silent, it witnesses, the soul witnesses the mind and its thoughts. That is how we awaken the soul. When the soul starts watching its own mind and its own thoughts, the mind becomes aware and it becomes conscious. Like when you stare at somebody, the person becomes aware and conscious, and there's a pause. Similarly, there's a pause in the mind. And that reveals what your mind is doing, whether it's favorable to you or not favorable to you. So to be spiritual, you have to be constantly, continuously, consistently watch and witness your mind. Keep witnessing, always be alert, and you will function less from your subconscious section and more from your conscious section, because now you will be conscious of what your mind is experiencing. The mind is not you. The mind is that thinking self, which functions from the past into the future. Straight from the past into the future. Projecting that into the future. Projecting all his desires into the future. But the spirit or the soul witnesses in the present moment. So that is how it is. In the mental, you are the meditator. In the spirit, you are the meditation. You are the meditation. Because the spirit is who you are. The mind with its consciousness is what you are. And the body reveals how you are. So, if you wish to be if you wish to begin your journey, understand what the spirit is, what the soul is, what witnessing is all about. How? Very simple. How to witness, keep witnessing your own thoughts. Going in a roller coaster ride of this and that. Keep watching. And you'll be seeing all that is not favorable. And doing consciously what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to do. Where good and bad is a different issue altogether. That's morality and ethics. Positive and negative is again mental for the mind. Here you'll be watching your mind consciously. That's all. When you are conscious of what your mind is doing, you are then what you are. In the right form. Because subconsciously you are in auto mode. Your mind is functioning automatically without requiring anything from its past awareness, from its memory, in an unconscious manner. So you are supposed to be, meaning your spirit and the soul is supposed to be awake when the mind is functioning, whereas most of the time it is asleep. So, when you are subconsciously doing it, you fall into a trap of beliefs, blind beliefs. You become a follower of either religion, motivational speakers, spiritual artists, to improve your mind, and you forget the spirit totally. Whereas the spirit is who you are. It is that supreme self, thou art that sitting behind, inside your mind. So, instead of blind belief, if you keep witnessing your mind, you become free and open-minded. Then you're not a follower. Then you just don't, like a parrot, imitate and repeat from your intellect what you have heard or learned from others, giving references of others, talking about Sanskrit shlokas and jargons and mantras which most of us don't understand. No. Then you're not a follower. Then you understand everything with clarity, consciously, and clairvoyance. So what happens? Then you awaken and you are more wiser and a mature person. You're more in silence. You're more of a listener. Then your ego, that is your mental self, exhibiting all the time as to how great you are. How great you are. Then you condemn less. You judge less. What more do you want? You are less biased. You are less biased. You are more wholesome. And you love, not sentimentally. Now you're awake. You love for the sake of giving. Love is that adhesive which gives you joy while giving as well as receiving. But when it is sentimental, it only wants to receive love. It's happy when it's receiving. Whereas I'm talking about sensitivity. When you are sensitive to every human being, in your humanness, for the sake of humanity, you become more cohesive. This is the spiritual journey you are supposed to take. Sensitive, love, for the sake of oneness, for all that is around, for the sake of nature, care, instead of always thinking about your comfort level, care for others. That is the spiritual journey I'm talking about. And that comes through the awakening of the soul, effortless awakening. There is not a single technique to be given or any effort to be applied, any method, no exercise, no engineering, nothing. Your witnessing self is that higher self. To look inwards is to connect with that higher self by being able to witness your mind and its thoughts, the games that it plays in the drama of life.